In the tenebrous realm where shadows danced and whispers echoed secrets, there lurked a sinister entity known as the Rake. Its existence, shrouded in mystery and dread, had haunted the annals of folklore for centuries. The Rake was a humanoid creature, its form emaciated and skeletal. Its skin, as pale as the moonlit snow, clung tightly to its bones, revealing every sinew and tendon. Its eyes, piercing and luminescent, glowed with an eerie intensity that could send shivers down the spines of the bravest souls. Legends whispered that the Rake possessed an insatiable hunger for human flesh. It would stalk its victims relentlessly, its long, spindly fingers reaching out from the darkness to ensnare them. Its victims were often found drained of blood, their bodies left lifeless and mutilated. One fateful night, as the moon cast an ominous glow upon the sleeping town of Willow Creek, a young woman named Emily found herself alone in her secluded cabin. As she sat by the flickering fireplace, a sense of unease crept over her. The shadows seemed to dance more menacingly, and the wind howled like a banshee outside. Suddenly, Emily heard a faint scratching at the door. Her heart skipped a beat as she slowly approached it, her hand trembling as she reached for the handle. With a creak, the door swung open, revealing nothing but the empty darkness of the night. Emily's relief was short-lived. As she turned to close the door, she caught a glimpse of something moving in the shadows. A pair of glowing eyes stared at her from the darkness, sending a surge of terror through her veins. In a panic, Emily slammed the door shut and bolted it. She stumbled backward, her breath coming in ragged gasps. As she frantically searched for a weapon, she heard the scratching at the door grow louder and more insistent. With trembling hands, Emily grabbed a nearby poker and held it in front of her. The scratching continued, accompanied by a low, guttural growl that sent shivers down her spine. Suddenly, the door burst open with a deafening crash. Emily screamed as the Rake lunged at her, its razor-sharp claws extended. In a desperate attempt to defend herself, she swung the poker with all her might. The poker connected with the Rake's head, but it seemed to have no effect. The creature let out a piercing shriek and lunged again. Emily dodged its attack and stumbled backward, tripping over a rug. As she lay on the floor, helpless and terrified, the Rake towered over her. Its glowing eyes burned into her soul, and its fetid breath filled her nostrils. Emily closed her eyes, bracing herself for the inevitable. But then, something unexpected happened. The Rake suddenly recoiled, as if in pain. It turned and fled into the darkness, its footsteps echoing through the empty cabin. Emily lay there for a long time, too stunned to move. She had escaped the clutches of the Rake, but she knew that it would not be the last time she would encounter the sinister creature. From that night forward, Emily became a recluse, haunted by the memory of her encounter with the Rake. She never spoke of it to anyone, but the fear lingered in her heart, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked in the shadows. And so, the legend of the Rake lived on, a chilling tale whispered among the townsfolk of Willow Creek. It was a story of terror and dread, a reminder that even in the most ordinary of places, the supernatural could strike with a vengeance.